Hello everyone, hopefully no Editor, 35 number after 6 here, and for today's video, we're doing something a little bit different than usual. So I mentioned it at the very end of my manga collection video, but in case you didn't watch it, for my Gloom and Doom review, there's actually a lot of on-camera footage of me that didn't make it into the final review. And that is because I got this new camera from Christmas, it's really high quality, I haven't used it a lot, and one of the few times that I have used it, one of which being during my Gloom and Doom review, well, it's become pretty apparent that I need to learn how to properly work the camera because I filmed a lot of footage, and at the very end when I went to edit it all together, all of it looked blurry. And this was at a point where it had been 2 or 3 months since my last visual novel related video. I didn't want to keep viewers or, the people who gave me the review codes waiting, so I made the decision to just cut out all of the extra fluff and stick strictly to the, narrated review stuff. A couple of the on-camera moments did make it into the review in the form of, just narrated jokes, but they might not have landed as well and seemed a little awkward. But I don't want to feel like I've wasted 2 hours of my life because I'm only living to the age of 77 hours and 77 minutes and 65 seconds. So that being said, I need to make the most use of my time. So I can't just let that time go to waste. So for today's video, what I'm doing is I'm taking that unused blurry footage and I'm basically injecting it into the finished review where it would have gone. So if any of the transitions or cuts seem a little awkward, first of all, it's because I'm doing very minimal editing with this video. I'm just kind of cutting and throwing the clips in there, not worrying about dipping to black or doing, satisfying transitions, because this is just a video to get this footage out there and show you what I did and, what else was supposed to be in the review. I'm still very happy with the review. It's funny, I thought it would cut down the review's time by quite a bit, but it still ended up being 16 minutes. And then the other reason is because I'm injecting it into this final copy of the review, which I edited around not having these clips, which means where one clip would have originally gone, there's now a fade to black, so then I just have to throw that clip in there. So there might be a few or a lot of weird moments, jarring transitions, but that's just a result of how I'm actually doing this. But I was really proud of some of it's mostly just comedy writing, there's nothing serious in there, but I'm pretty proud of what I did, so I still wanted to share it with you guys, but I couldn't justify putting this blurry footage in the review. Just for a little context on some of the jokes, because it won't work otherwise, this was actually supposed to take place canonically, because I guess I'm doing lore now. Canonically after my birthday video, where, I'm hey, murder's legal, and basically the video would have started with this long narration about me going on about how it turns out murder isn't legal. I know, big shocker if any of you guys are surprised by that, run, because the police or the law is looking for you. And that I tried to murder a guy, but it didn't go well because that person was still alive and still looking for me. So the video started with me breaking into my own house because it's been a month since I was on the run, and I just needed to brighten up my day. I just needed to play a game to give me some hope. And that's when I was like, okay, I got some review codes. Let's see what we're looking at. And it was going to be this really funny transition where I look at the title and it's Gloom and Doom when I'm looking for hope. And then I'm just like, oh, perfect, in this self-deprecating way. I actually think I still have the footage of that. Maybe it'll be in this video. And then it cuts to the review. But yeah, that's the setup. So when you hear a lot of attempted murder, when you hear that phrase attempted murder used a lot in the video, that's what that's referring to. I just felt like I should at least explain that, because otherwise, there will be absolutely no context for this. So some of the footage will be placed in the video where it would have gone. Then some of the footage that is kind of disconnected or just doesn't work anymore because of how the editing is, I'll add towards the end. And we'll figure out if by the end, if I think any of the bloopers are worth putting in there. If so, those will be at the very end. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, here's the unused footage to my Gloom and Doom review. Hello everyone, hopefully no Editor 357 here, and for today's video, I will be reviewing the visual novel Gloom and Doom. And if that's not the name of my autobiography, I don't know what is. Dang it! Or find some way to save Winona from her supposed fate of becoming the Doombringer without killing her. And speaking of Doom being brought, hang on just a second. Oh crap, that's the guy I murdered. Okay, try to. I was a beginner, okay? Still am, actually. Anyways, I should probably confront him soon. The guy's got good endurance if he can survive my attempted murder, so he'll probably be out there waiting for me forever. But first, I got these review codes, so I need to deliver. Justice will just have to wait. And the conversation definitely doesn't turn into an intense spiel that can be applied to Gloom himself. I said maybe it happens. I didn't say for sure it does. Well, that would be a weirdly specific example to say if it didn't happen in the game. If you thought you couldn't watch a masterfully written story about self-discovery with an ancient wraith as a main character, well, you'd be wrong. Well, I just lost $5. Hopping through events and meeting new characters with enough wit to stop world hunger if we could somehow transmute wit into a food source. Listen, I'm working on it. Along with acting as a tutorial for the game via the dialogue of the characters. Wait, I have to read to enjoy this visual novel? Moving on to the artwork. Before I do, just hang on 1 second real quick. Hey you, murderee! Attempted murderee. Listen, just give me like 5 or so minutes, and then he can do whatever attempted murder-related things you need to do to me. Okay? Thank you. At this point, it's just teasing to have him out there for so long. Might as well have my doom be brought as soon as possible. But first, the artwork. It doesn't matter how many times alcohol's gross, and anyone who says it is lying. It's dumb. I really don't know how to describe it in any way but the perfect song to end the story of Gloom and Doom on. Sorry that last part was a weak description. Giving weak descriptions is something I'm known for, though. At least that's what I assume my professor means when he calls me a weak-willed individual. It is worth noting that said professor does have a rare condition where the only words he's capable of speaking are, "You are a weak-willed individual, Noah," but I think he means it. At least I got an A in his Who Has the Weakest Will class. However, I would really appreciate a CG gallery so I could see some of my favorite CGs without having to jump back into the story and skip to the scenes they're in. For example, where can I find this BDSM kit receipt? Wait a second, I don't think that was from the game. Gloom and Doom does a wonderful job giving hopeful and important messages, which may seem to contradict the gloomy title of the game. I don't have drums to do the whole ba-da-ps sound effect, so... Thank you everyone for watching, and until the next video, see you guys. Alright, I may have an A in my Who Has the Weakest Will class, but this ends now! Oh, thank goodness he's gone. My weak will is so drained right now. Oh hey, Professor! My professor is now saying I have an A+ in my Who Has the Weakest Will class, and get this, he's learned how to say more than just, "You are a weak-willed individual, Noah." He is now calling me a loser. Been called worse? Well, aside from not being a disappointment in my college classes for the first time in my life, I have one matter left to attend to. You see, our attempted murderee here, who was too weak-willed to wait just a little longer for me to come out and face him, and probably cry and beg for forgiveness, has left us a note. Let's see what it says, and then I can finally close the page on this attempted murder-filled chapter of my life. Unless I run out of jokes in a later video. Alright, let's hear what my attempted murderee has to say for himself. Harder Daddy. I knew I shouldn't have tried to kill someone with a BDSM kit. I just need to play a game to help lighten my mood. We got some review codes here, let's see what we're looking at. Perfect! There you go, you were right. You're real, right? You're not just an inanimate object of a fictional character that I'm talking to like a real person because the month I spent on the run and even worse outdoors has driven me crazy, right? Nah, that's not it. Ugh. Let me in! Let me in! Let me in! Let me in! Huh. Heaven looks a lot more like a homemade recording studio than I thought it would. Yeah, that's fine. I knocked over my waters. We're recording, alright. Alright. Yeah, 1 second. If I check my notifications, that normally bores me. Oh, that did the trick pretty well. Okay. Well, I just lost $5. I said maybe it happens. Didn't say for sure it does. But that will be a weirdly specific example to say if it didn't happen in the game. You're real, right? You're not just an inanimate object of a fictional character that I'm talking to like a real person because the menthol. That's the menthol. You're real, right? You're not just an inanimate object of a fictional character that I'm talking to like a real person because the month I spent alone on the run. So close. Run and even worse outdoors. Okay. You're real, right? You're not just an inanimate object of a fictional character that I'm talking to like a real person because the month I spent on the run alone and even worse outdoors has driven me crazy, right? Nah, that's not it. Hey you, murderee, attempted murderee. Just give me like 5 or so minutes and then you can do whatever attempted murder related things you need to. Alright, let's do that again. Hey you, murderee, attempted murderee. Listen, just give me like 5 or so minutes and then you can get to doing whatever. So close. At this point, it would just be teasing to... At this point, it's just teasing to have him out there for so long. Giving weak descriptions is what I'm known for, though. At least, that's what I'm assuming my professor means when he calls me a weak-willed individual. It is worth noting that the only words might attain a rare condition. Okay. At least that's what I'm assuming my professor means when he calls me a weak-willed individual. It is worth noting that said professor has a rare condition where the only words he is capable of speaking are. Right. I don't have drums to the... Alright, I may have an A in my Who Has the Weakest Will class, but this ends now! Oh, thank goodness he's gone. My weak will is so drained right now. He's learned how to say more than just, "You are a weak-willed individual, Noah." He's now calling me... a loser. Attempted murder things.